Hey everybody, my name is Greg Sloan. Thanks for checking out my channel on YouTube called Drum Power. And of course, with a name like that, you've probably already figured out I'm a professional drummer. However, I just consider myself a musician. This is what I do for a living. I love my job, and I do everything you can do in this business. I write songs, I record songs, I produce other artists. I play drums in the studio, I play drums live, I teach drum lessons, I play guitar in the studio, I play bass in the studio, I sing, anything that's required. And that's one of the things that I'm always here on this channel to talk about is if you want to do these things for a living, be as versatile as possible so you can always, get a call to do something. And why are we doing all this? Why am I playing these guitars and things lately in these videos? Well, it's about playing multiple instruments, okay? We talked about this in the 10 Commandments of Drumming. One of those commandments was that you should play multiple instruments. And I just wanted to kind of show you firsthand that it's not that hard to get started on it if you've never done it. And it's also, in this day and age, when it comes to guitars and basses and amplifiers, good amps that are fun to use and great for practice and even great for recording, they're not as expensive as they once were. There's a lot of options out there. And one of those options, of course, is Firefly. That's what I had done a Resonator video on recently, a little review and demo of that. And I originally intended to do all my Firefly guitars, and you can see some of them in the background here, in one video, but I was asked to do a specific video just for that Resonator. So we obviously won't be talking much about that Resonator, but I will hit on it in this video. I am going to go over all these other Firefly guitars that I've gotten in the last year. And also I want to talk about this awesome little Spark amp a little bit. So the Spark amp and the Firefly guitars, just really good affordable options if you're wanting to get started on playing multiple instruments. So let's kind of get into it. I don't want to just talk here. Let's get to these instruments. So this is the first, excuse me, Firefly that I ever picked up, and it's of course an LP model. And this one, I believe when I got it was like $179 plus 27 shipping, and I love it. It's the first one I got. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I was like, it's not that expensive. I'm going to give it a shot. I've always wanted a Les Paul in my own studio. I've played many, Gibson Les Pauls and Epiphones and those types of guitars, for many years in this business, but I've never had one in my own recording studio that's just always going to be here and accessible. And I got this just a few months ago. It's a Honeyburst finish, and you can see it's just a beautiful guitar. It's made well, it plays well. I mean, I love the neck on this thing. It just feels great to me, and I think it sounds great. I know a lot of people, it depends on what you're wanting to do. For recording, I love it. These pickups are a little bit microphonic. If you've seen a lot of reviews on these, you've probably seen that as a major complaint by a lot of people. But to me, I like these pickups. They record great. I like the idea that they're picking up pretty much everything I'm doing in the studio. I want that up close, tone and sound out of this guitar when I'm recording. Now I can see if I were going to be playing on a big Marshall stack on stage and cranking the volume up, I mean, yeah, this could cause a lot of feedback issues in those situations. And if I were going to take this out on tour as a guitar player, I would change the pickups in it. But aside from that, and again, for what I'm using it for, I'm changing nothing on this except the strings I have changed, obviously, since I've gotten this. So let's just give you a few examples, and also I'm using this Spark amp for everything today, for every guitar I'm going to play, and also the bass that I'm going to show you. This thing is amazing. It, again, there's going to be lots of videos on this Spark amp on YouTube if you want to get more in-depth demos and reviews on it. Because I can tell you, I've had this for a few months. I haven't even scratched the surface on what this thing can do. It's almost unlimited, just the imagination, all the tones and sounds you can get out of this thing, because it comes with an app, which I have on my phone over here on the side, which you probably can't see on screen. But the app has, I think this one has 30 amps in it, and within those modeling, of course, they're models of amps, and within that you have all these different foot pedals, and there's drive pedals, there's EQ pedals, there's it's limitless. Delay, reverb, noise gates, compressors. I mean, all this stuff is built into this app, and you can get into each one just like you would do, with Pro Tools or Logic Pro or something. You can get into each one of these, and you can dial in specifically what you want off of each pedal and each amplifier and everything. The other thing that's really cool that we're going to kind of play around with here is you can find, there's a thing on here called Tone Cloud, which has over 10,000, I believe, sounds and things already uploaded into it. And you can just type in styles of music, or you can type in actual artists. So you can say Eddie Van Halen or David Gilmour, or whoever you can think of, Joe Satriani, and there's going to be a whole list of tones that are modeled after those guitarists' sound. Their amps, the type of amps that they use, the type of pedals they used. And the cool thing about the Tone Cloud is not only can you download all this stuff, but if you create your own tones, you can upload them into that Tone Cloud. That's why they have so many thousands of them at this point. I'm just going to flip through here and find some sounds and just let you hear this little Spark amp with this Firefly guitar. And again, I think the Spark amp was $250, so really, really affordable, and the app is free. So here's one, it's just in the rock settings, it's called Crazy Crew, and should give us kind of that Motley Crue-ish sound from back in the day. And you can hear it. It delivers pretty cool. This is a British accent. It's just kind of a cool little rock tone. There's a Gilmour on here, which is, of course, is going to have tons of delay and reverb. All coming out of this little amp and this little app. You can switch it, kind of get your Eddie Van Halen. That old flanger type of thing that he used to use a lot. It's really cool for all kinds of stuff. Here's a cool one, which to get the right tone for this particular guy, John Sykes, one of my favorite guitar players of all time. If you don't know him, wow, look him up. I mean, Thin Lizzy, Whitesnake, Blue Murder, unbelievable player. But he used this rhythm tone a lot. In his playing, and of course, this is the pickup up here. We got the bridge down here, the neck pickup. So he used that neck pickup a lot for his lead tone and stuff. So let's just pull up. This is another thing really cool with this Spark amp that I want to show you. You can pick a sound like that. So we got the John Sykes sound. And now you can go into this music saying, I mean, it's, again, find another video on YouTube that gets deep into Spark, because we don't have near the time to go into half of what this thing can do. But just want to show you really quick. There's a little page here, a music page, and of course you can play your Spotify through this amp. You can play YouTube videos and anything, you know, backing tracks that you can, you know, possibly hook up to this thing. It's Bluetooth accessible, plus you can hardwire things into it. But anyway, here's a little thing that John played on that there's a backing track for, and I was just like, wow, that's really cool. So let's see how it sounds. You actually have separate volume controls for whatever you're playing through this, as well as your guitar. So if you're playing with a backing track on YouTube and you can't hear the music, you can rectify that. You can turn that up, turn your guitar down, whatever you need to do. You have separate control of that, which is really cool. So let's see if we can pull this up and do a little bit with it. This one actually has a count off, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, so it's cool. I don't know how, hopefully this is coming across cool on the video here, because as you may or may not know, I'll go ahead and say it now, if I don't think I already mentioned it in this video, but I say it in most of my videos. I'm not miking any of this, right? I'm not running any of this through my studio equipment. There's just an iPad in front of me, and it's the iPad's microphone and camera, and that's all we're doing here. I don't go crazy editing sound and all that stuff. So all you're hearing is this little amp and this guitar and my voice in the room. So hopefully that came out pretty good, where you could kind of hear the music and the guitar. I mean, it sounds good to me in the room, but I, you know, won't know exactly what we're getting through the iPad until I sit down and look at it later. So obviously if it's terrible, I'll have to redo this, but let's hope it's good. All right, just as another example really quick, here's a YouTube backing track. This just says it's a ballad in A minor, right? So if you want to work on your A minor pentatonic, whatever you're playing around with stuff, you're trying to practice these things. I love this amp for practice, but I also love, you can plug this right into your computer, or I can plug it into one of my preamps for my studio, and I can use it to record with. So, but let's play with one more little backing track just for a second, just so you can hear, you know, a different idea. Here we go for this little A minor thing. See what we can come up with. You're just jamming out and trying to improve. can see, I don't know how the balance was there. We'll have to check that out, but you know, because these kind of fluctuate too. I mean, it depends on what you know, the mix in the EQ is of the YouTube video or the Spotify song, whatever you're pulling up. So, but that's what's cool about this being adjustable. You can control the volume of the track, and you can of course control the volume of your guitar. But you know, a lot of fun to be had with this Spark amp thing. I mean, it's great for practice. Another cool thing about it, I'm gonna go ahead and change guitar sounds here. But another really cool thing about it is that you can put headphones into it, directly into it. You can plug headphones into this thing, and you'll hear the tones exactly how we're hearing them here in the room, but of course you're just hearing the headphones, and it's not going to be loud like that. It's going to be like that. So you know, while everyone's in the house sleeping at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, you can be jamming and getting better if you happen to be up. So let's find another tone here. And I don't know, let's do like D drop and just play around with some D drop, just so you can hear this little amp and this little guitar. Affordable stuff. I mean, you can do some cool D drop stuff too. So let's see, we'll do a couple of stuff like that. You can do more of a, even more of a riffy thing. Have all kinds of fun with that. I mean, a heavy riff, you're making that up as we're doing right now. Then I might just go back to that. Yeah, so right off the spot here. You know, that little, you can move it around, or you know, just it's inspiring to hear what's coming out in the moment, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to take that and flip it upside down, and you know, so we can come up with that kind So there again, Spark, Firefly just inspired me to write another riff. Right here live in the moment on YouTube. So yeah, that's the first Firefly I ever got, and again, I just fell in love with it. So we're gonna move on to some other Fireflies in my arsenal that I've been adding to my collection, and they're all different. That's what I love about what Firefly is doing as well, is you can get a lot of different styles of guitar for your needs. As you'll see though, with this one coming up next, they're not all readily available. I haven't seen this one available in a long time, but I think you're gonna dig it. Hey everybody, we're back here with the next Firefly guitar that I happened to pick up. Now this is an FFTH P90, so it's a thin line, obviously a Tele style, and this one has P90 pickups in it. This one I actually got off of Marketplace. I found this used. A really cool guy named Chris, not far from me, had this listed, and I asked him if I could come up and play it and see it, and he said yeah, and he gave me an unbelievable deal on it. He was just trying to move it because he has other Fireflies that he still has and he's keeping, but he just said he didn't play this one as much. I guess some people don't like the necks on these. It's a lot different, of course, than the LP that I just had here. This is a maple neck, and it's a lot girthier, a lot thicker, baseball bat-ish almost, but I love it. I love the contrasts. I love the differences. I love these pickups, these P90s. So anyway, let's let you hear this a little bit. I'm just using, I picked a different tone, a little cleaner tone for this, and we'll mix it up and let you hear some different things with it. But this is the neck pickup. All right, so we've got it up here, and you'll hear it's a little darker here. And I'll just play the same riff so you can really hear the tones. Alright, so a little riff like that. Here we are in the middle using both pickups. I find this is where I've been using this the most in the studio, but I mean I like it in all the positions, but this is with both pickups. So depending on how you're running this, if you're going through pedals or through certain amps or whatever, this middle position is the quiet position on this guitar. No line noise at all. With this little Spark amp, I'm not hearing a lot of line noise, very little. Hardly at all. So that's, another cool little thing going on here. But usually I've run this through a couple of amps where if you're just in the bridge pickup or the neck pickup, either or, you're getting, a certain amount of line noise. But in the middle position, never any noise. Right now we're on the bridge. Should hear a little difference here. I absolutely love this guitar. This one, I think the only thing I had to do to this, and it was just, it's just a preference thing because I got this used, is I made a slight truss rod adjustment on this when I got it home. And that's all I've done. Well, and of course I put new strings on it, but that's it, man. This thing again plays and feels great, and you can see, you know, it looks great too. You can hear a little line noise right now as I'm moving around. So that's where the middle position is helpful. But anyway, let's try another sound here. Let's get something a little, maybe a little. Something a little funky there. This is just a blast of a guitar to play. If you can get your hands on, I don't think they're selling them right now, so you may have to hit the used market for this. I don't know if they're coming back out with it or not, but if you can get your hands on this Thin Line with the P90s, because I know they had the, you know, the other version of the Thin Line that just had kind of the regular Tele pickups, single coils, but I mean, if you can get these P90s, I highly recommend it. I mean, I'm using this thing a ton in the studio, so yeah, loving this one. Okay, so let's break away again and let's go to the next Firefly I've got to show you. Okay, and we're back, and as you can see, I have a bass in my hands, and this is a prototype made by Firefly, a jazz bass style, like a Fender jazz bass style. So I think they're going to call it the FFJB when they do come out with it. And again, of course, this was not readily available, so I bought this from the guy, really nice guy named Dennis, who was, I guess, the guy that Firefly sent this to test it out, to test the prototype out and give them feedback on it. And Dennis has been selling off a lot of his gear. I think, unfortunately, he had an accident or something and got injured to the point that he's not playing his instruments as much anymore. And but anyway, he was gracious enough to sell this to me and send it to me. And again, I love it. It's another, I feel like another home run in this price range by Firefly. I hope they end up, you know, getting these to market because they're super cool. Now these pickups are not the original ones, according to Dennis. He replaced these. These are a ceramic pickup that he put in, and I really dig them. I mean, again, for recording, I'm just using this to record in my studio, and I'm, you know, 90% of the time a pick player when it comes to bass. So if I really need the true bass finger technique stuff, I will call my brother or any number of friends of mine that where their number one instrument is bass if I need that kind of thing. But if it's just laying down a good bass line on a track and I feel like I can do it, or you know, someone else is in the studio that wants to take a stab at it, we've got this here to do it. And again, I'm running it through this little Spark amp. The Spark amp, you can run acoustic guitars through it, you can run bass guitars through it, you can run any electric guitar through it. So it's super versatile. And I've got on my phone here a few little bass tones from the Spark amp pulled up. This first one that we're doing is called Rock Addict Bass. And just, you know, so you can hear this thing. It's got a good tone to it. It's fun to play too. So I'm just going to play a riff to a tune that I've done before, just so you can hear this, and we'll go through different sounds on the app too. And again, this is just like a normal rock sound that we have on here. But let's hear this thing. so that's the Rock Addict sound on there. And by the way, I've never changed the strings on this, so I honestly, I don't even know if they're stock strings or not. I haven't had a chance to change these, but they still feel pretty good. If I were playing a live gig with them, I would definitely change them. But in the studio so far, I haven't had any problems with these. So anyway, that was the Rock Addict sound. Let's pull up something else here. We've got a Geddy Lee Fender jazz bass tone here. Let's see what it sounds like. All right, let's see if we can play that same riff. I'm digging this one. Never even used it, but I'm liking it. I think I'm going to use it for something. This one is Yes Bass. It says. Let's see what we got here. Probably some kind of a effect. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's got its place if it's the right song, the right setting, the right atmosphere. What else we got here? There's a bass driver, so probably gonna be a little dirty. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that one's fun. That one's fun. And then, you got your total clean sounds. Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have a use for those clean bass tones. So anyway, yeah, the little Firefly JB. This is a prototype, and I can tell you, this thing really well made. This is girthy. It feels a lot like a Fender jazz bass, and I'm like all the Fireflies I have. I'm blown away by the neck. It's probably my favorite part of every one of these guitars is the way the neck feels in my hand. This is a really very, very comfortably made neck on this bass. And, so much so that even though I don't play bass near as much as drums, obviously, and even guitar, I feel like I could play this for a couple of hours and be fine. I mean, this is a really easy bass to play in terms of playing bass. It feels great. Feels great. All right, so let's break away again and let's pull up the next guitar. All right, and we're back with another Firefly. Now this one is their 338, which is a semi-hollow body. Another guitar came to me in beautiful condition. And again, feels great in the hand, sounds great, plays great. Again, these pickups, probably the same ones that are in the LP model. They're a little bit microphonic. Nothing crazy with it, but if that bothers you, you get one of these. You might change the pickups out, but yeah, I love this one. I think this one, I think this was $196 before shipping, and shipping again is like 27 bucks on all of these right now. But yeah, this thing is a blast. It's again, I use it for not as many things in the studio as I use that thin line or the LP, but I'll let you hear this thing a little bit. We're on sort of a clean thing here on the app, going through our little Spark amp here. So let's do a little riff. And that is with the bridge pickup. And it's just a little brighter. Let's do the neck pickup on that same riff. Using both. I found in the studio so far, I like the middle setting on this a lot, and the bridge setting quite a bit. I'm sorry, the neck pickup setting. I think I said bridge. Anyway, I like using both pickups the most, but then my second favorite is the neck pickup. I like that. You hear that again, kind of bassy. But you get the best of both worlds when you're in the middle. Really cool guitar. And again, I've played a lot of 335s. It feels really similar in terms of the neck. Again, the neck is outstanding on this guitar. Action is a little higher, I think, as it should be in comparison to an LP or a thin line. It's not high by any stretch. It's not crazy high, but a little bit higher. And but to me, it you know, that's the way more of these are played, more of the jazzy kind of vibe stuff. Let's find another sound though. Let's do something a little, let's see what this sounds like. It's got a little bit of a effect on it there. It's like really chorusy. A lot of delay on that too. Let's see what else we got here. This one's probably a little more dry. back to you know, why I'm doing these videos for you guys on Drum Power is, again, learn to play multiple instruments. It's so huge for your development and makes you so much more desirable in the industry. If if I'm auditioning for a band for drums and three drummers are, you know, down to the wire, they're neck and neck, and they're looking around the room talking amongst themselves, and they're like, all right, we like these three guys, they're all great drummers, they're all great guys, what separates? Well, this one guy, he's a great player, and the other two were just as good, but this one guy can sing, the other two cannot sing. Okay, who do you think has the leg up? Obviously, the more you can do, right? Say none of you can sing, right? None of the three drummers, down to the wire, none of them can sing. But this other drummer, you know, I noticed he can play guitar and he can write songs, and he, you know, so again, who's more valuable to the band in that situation? So I just find the more you can do, the more opportunities you're going to get, and I really, really, really recommend to all of you. And if you're a guitar player out there and you've never played drums, you know, you found me because of Firefly in your search engine or something like that, start playing drums if you can, even if it's just grab a practice pad and some sticks and start improving your rhythm and your timing. It's just going to make you a better overall musician. And if you guys don't have a Spark amp and you are a guitar player already, I mean, even if just for practice alone, it's a great deal for a cool little amp, in my opinion. So that's it. I've covered them all. The only one I didn't do was the resonator. That's the other Firefly that I have. But you know, I did a whole video on that resonator. Maybe I'll go ahead and I'll grab it here and, you know, let you take a look at it really quick. But, you know, no need to really demo it because I've already done that. All right, so here it is. Here's the resonator. I did a whole video on this, demoing it and reviewing it. And again, this came to me perfect condition. I really dig this thing. It's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it. Another cool little instrument from Firefly. But yeah, back to what I was saying. If you can play multiple instruments, if you can get your hands on a Spark amp, if you can get your hands on any affordable guitar, you need to do it for yourself, for your playing, for your overall musicianship. So that's it for me. Please like and subscribe and share this video if you can. I really appreciate all the support for this channel, and please leave comments. You know, if you have Firefly guitars and you're loving them, or you've gotten them and you didn't like them, you had a bad experience, let us know. If you're using the Spark amp and you love it or you hate it, let me know. If there's other affordable amps that do all the modeling and stuff that the Spark amp does that you would recommend to people, throw that in the comments. If there's other affordable guitar companies that you really like. I know I've heard of several, haven't tried them myself, but I know Harley Benton is one that I've heard a lot about. IYV is another one. So, you know, yeah, in the comments, anything like that you can think of is helpful to the viewers, and that's all I'm trying to do here is help all my viewers. So until next time, you guys keep rocking, and we'll see you soon.